Hi, my name is Catherine Nguyen, and I'm a student physical therapy assistant from CBD College. And today we'll be talking about 3 critical modifiable risk factors for cardiovascular disorders and how patients can reduce these risk factors. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is a sedentary lifestyle. A sedentary lifestyle can lead to hypertension through diabetes and obesity. So it's important to do 30 minutes of exercise every day, whether it be aerobic or strength training. And it's important to be about 50 to 70% of your max heart rate, just so that you know that you're working your heart hard enough, and it's not too low of an activity so that it's not making real much of a difference for you. Things like walking, dancing, biking can all be considered as good forms of physical activity, but it can also be CrossFit, strength training, Orange Theory, or going to a class maybe 3 times a week instead of every day, 30 minutes. That can also count as physical activity, and which can really improve your heart health. It can improve your resting heart rate. It makes blood move through the body easier, and it just really improves your overall heart health because you're exercising a muscle, which is a heart. The second thing I want to talk about is your diet. So, American sizes and processed foods and things like that are always against you. So, being mindful that you're eating your fruits, your vegetables, your greens, and fibers, and getting a good blood panel done to know what you may be insufficient in. So, you might be vitamin D sufficient or things like that. And so knowing what is really you're lacking in, and it's important to focus on eating, and can really make a difference in your diet, your iron, and being anemic and such. So knowing what you actually lack is really important when you choose on what to eat. But staying away from processed foods, highly fried foods, oils, lots of fats and sugars, processed foods. And you want to increase good lean proteins, healthy fruits and veggies, and try to reduce portion sizes, because most people are used to feeding themselves all the way up to when they're full, all the way up over their neck. They're almost about to throw up. You want to be full just so that you're satisfying that satiation craving, but you're not so full that you can't move, or you don't want to exercise, or you're like lethargic after eating. That can be a very unhealthy choice. The last thing I would talk about is like smoking or vaping, or usage of like drugs, stimulants, and even like pre-workouts or heavy caffeine substances. That can really put your heart in dysrhythmia. So I know that I was taking an aggressive pre-workout in the morning because I really wanted that caffeine and energy to run me through my day, which set my heart out of whack. It gave me anxiety attacks and all those things, all those like negative processed things that I was putting into my body made a huge effect. So I would really highly recommend monitoring your caffeine consumption, as well as like smoking and vaping, keeping it to a limit. I understand that some people need it as a stress reliever, and some people need caffeine to get through their day, but monitoring and knowing that you're not dependent on these things, and every once in a while you may be utilizing them, but not frequently, and just knowing those effects on your body and how they can really damage your body is really important to your cardiovascular health and not having cardiovascular diseases.